Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, head currency analyst. In this video, I'm going to take you through the week ahead analysis. We're going to look at some news for the week and some opportunities to watch out for. So, going on to the news, we've got quite a bit of high impact news this week, all covering pretty much all bases. First of all, kicking off with the pound monetary policy report hearings. Governor Bailey will be in attendance for these monetary policy report hearings, and it is ahead of some inflationary data, which is looking pretty strong, to be honest. We can see that there is a potential for the CPI to come out at 9.1% versus 7% previously, again showing that inflation in the UK has continued to rise, which is a big problem for the UK at the moment because we're seeing unemployment on a steady rise as well. So these monetary policy report hearings, we could see Governor Bailey highlight the potential recessionary fears once again. Could be a bad week for the pound once more. The eyes are going to then turn to the US. We've got core retail sales, we've got retail sales, and we have Federal Chairman Powell speaking. Again, this is going to be quite crucial this week because we've seen a significant decline in the equity markets or the stock markets, and we're looking to see if those markets are going to rebound going into this week. You've got some potential strong retail sales data coming out, so that could be a bit of a boost for the stock markets. And if Federal Chairman Powell highlights a little bit more of their monetary policy opportunities ahead, we could see some volatility around that. Like I said, we also have some Aussie news as well. We've got some unemployment rate data. Unemployment looks to be declining slightly, which is great. So Aussie could have a little bit of a rebound. But we also have parliamentary elections are going on in Australia at the moment, and recent polls are suggesting that the Labor Party is ahead. So some potential volatility in the Australian market as well. Going on to the strength meter, what's the strength meter telling us? Well, the big mover is the yen. The yen has increased in strength from these lows, so looking for some further opportunities to potentially look for long ideas on the yen now, especially against these weaker currencies. And the weaker ones at the moment are the pound, the Australian dollar, and the New Zealand dollar. So potentials for yen to continue to gain against those. Dollar is also at the highs as well. So depending on how the information or the data comes out this week, could see a little slight decline to the dollar. We are at reversal zones, but it's showing us that the dollar is predominantly strong. Moving on then, so the first chart to watch this week is going to be the pound. Like I said, pound very volatile at the moment, and I don't see the downside particularly coming to an end at the minute. Especially because we're approaching key levels of support, and you can see down in this area here around about the 1.2070s or the 1.2s, there's a big zone that we could possibly highlight there because the market has seen some aggressive demand from these type of areas in the past. So I don't think the downside's quite done yet for the pound US dollar price, and if price does continue to the downside this week, we should see some further opportunities on our 4-hour time frame. So you can see here highlighted the previous kind of structure highs there on the 4-hour. If price can get back to that area and reject it and reject these highs, it would show us that the bearish momentum is still here with the pound, and we could see some further downside. Dollar yen, so we've had our kind of first bearish week for how many weeks now? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, for 9 weeks. We've been bullish dollar yen, and we've had our first bearish week. It's actually a false breakout pattern as well. Those form basically when you have a large bullish candlestick, you then get an inside candlestick, and then price breaks the inside candle high, closes back within the inside candle range, which is exactly what this formation is here. What does that look like on a 4-hour? Well, we can see this kind of nice dip to the downside here, a nice rally up and rejection. So I'm expecting a little bit more upside in the short term, and then potentials continuation. So if we can come back up to sort of the 130s, even back up to sort of the 131s where these highs have been sold off of, and we see more selling pressure, that could be an opportunity to look for some further downside at that point. Going on to gold, so I'm highlighting gold mainly from the sort of inflation point of view for the US. Inflation saw a little bit of a decline in the US last week. Federal Reserve continuing to talk about hiking rates. Gold has really suffered on the back of that, and however, we are approaching some key areas. So there's a big demand zone around about the 1780 area. We saw a huge demand coming from here recently, so I'm expecting a little bit more downside to gold, especially into that level, and we can see a nice developed 4-hour trend here. So looking for pullbacks into previous structure highs. Maybe this 1850 area could be an area where we could see some sellers re-enter the market. Finally then, equity markets, so the stock markets, the S&P 500, saw a nice rebound from this previous area of demand in the market, so I'm looking for potentials for this to continue to the upside. If it does, we could see a breakout of these key structure highs here around about the 4,064 area at the moment. And if we were to take out those highs, I'll be looking for sort of retracement opportunities for upside, because that's looking pretty decent there. If the news, however, is bad, and we see sort of the retail sales coming in a bit lower, and things like that, we could see another retest of these lows. And if we do, I still think there's a possibility of longs coming in around that point. So keep your eye on these markets this week. I hope you enjoyed this video update. If you did, leave this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel to see some more of our Forex trading content, and I'll speak to you in the next video.